Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here because we are something like new kids on the block. We are also a startup. We have raised some money and now we want to invest. So we need to launch this product onto the market. And so we are pleased to be here because you are our partners, you are our customers, and we can develop the bioeconomy and scale up successful companies in this sector. And the point is, we think the time, in spite of all crises, are pretty good. Because actually of 4 reasons. The first reason is there is a pull from the market, so the customers are looking more to sustainability. They consider more quality on their plate, and that is all good for our environment. You can see that in supermarkets already. If you enter them, you see new, different products, which are different and which is very good. The second one is very important. We have just listened to Marco, and you see there's a huge push from the public side. So next to the pull, we have also push from the public institution. We have the Green Deal and all this grant program in place we can use. And also the framework, well, the political and regulatory framework will change for better. Third, of course, we have great innovation. We have world-class R&D here in Europe. So that's perfect. So we have a good source. We need new technology to make all these things happen. And in addition, which is very good, also the investors have changed their mind. They look to the so-called ESG, completely different. So these are the environmental, social, and good governance criteria. And if that is not in place, they see an additional risk for their returns. And that is new, completely new today. Some years before, that was a trade-off. On the one hand, you have maybe if you have an impact and ESG alignment, you think, okay, I can expect less returns. But today it is different. And that is very important. And we see more money coming in this market. You know, we are also lucky about this because we could raise 300 million from all these investors looking to ESG and good returns. However, we have also challenges. We cannot just go as venture capital before. You know, if you invest in digital topics, if you invest in these kind of pharmaceutical topics, you have a very comparably lower level of complexity. And we'll have to learn that. We have to adapt because it's different. So, you know, we need to look to feedstock. Is that available? And how is the price development? Do we need to compete with fossil-based fuels and materials, which is, of course, very uncertain and risky. And of course, R&D is sometimes even more complex because you have your new product and in addition connected with new processes. And then you have the production. You have to make sure that everything is in place, that it is running. Sometimes you even have to invest huge amount of money in bricks and stones to set up a plant for production. That's nothing bad with this, but it's just an additional complexity. And then you have logistics and a huge company to organize, which is challenging. And then you have sales. And sales is different if you look to innovative products. It's more demanding and challenging as well. So that is even a higher level of complexity, even if the traction from the market is good. And of course, then you have there's no management in place can cover all these topics perfectly. So that's demanding. And that's why you need to have maybe good partners to cooperate with, like good investors here. Capricorn is here, and you can bring in these people to bring much more in than money. But most of the investors don't know exactly all these challenges, but I think we have to learn. On the other side, I don't stay with challenges very long. We have this, but the opportunities, are very, very important right at the moment. You see, this is a huge market, and we have a great movement to this by innovation, changing consumer demand, regulatory framework, as already mentioned, and the market is just without any limits, 2.4 trillion euros, of course, separated in subsectors, but it's a huge area. And if you can access the market, then you can grow. So the story is good, and the high level of uncertainty in this area is also good for venture capital investors. Because if the speed of innovation is increasing, the large companies, they have their limit of adoption rate. And then it is a good time for startups to grow and to establish new innovation in the market. So that's very positive. And how can we do that? We have our success stories. They are also very important drivers for the whole process. These kind of success stories we need. You like Oatly, of course. I don't know a lot of people putting even milk in the coffee. They all put now Oatly in the coffee. This is far much better for your health and, of course, for the environment. And this company, having 500 million euros revenue, is already more than 4 billion euros worth at the stock exchange. So that is a good story. And the next one here from Sweden, it's all about recycling textiles. And they went also public, had a valuation of 800 million. Now, I think 350 million is still very good. And they work together with large partners, bringing in textiles. So if you go to a H&M shop, you can bring your old textile, your old T-shirt to the office there, and they bring it to Sweden to recycle it. So that's already in place and shows that we have great success stories. And of course, we have a very great success stories as well. This is an overview about the companies we have already invested in. These are the first 7. And one, maybe it's very interesting. It's a company, they produce vegan yogurts, vegan milk out of the regional crop lupine. And that is an alternative to soy already. And it's even have a better taste, and it has already a better LCA, and it's good for farmer soil because they use it as an interim crop anyway. And all the other, we have also a company producing insects. Protex, we think it's the world leading company if it comes to processing this production. They have already a 10,000 ton production place, as you can see here, in place. Just to show you, they are good examples, and we want to have 25 at the end of our fund. So during the next few years, we want to invest all across Europe. And we do that in different areas. If you talk about bioeconomy, it's very, it's not really clear. So we think about 3 subsectors: agtech and food, which is, of course, the largest one, feed and food production. The second one is forestry, bio-based materials, goes down to sustainable packaging and construction materials. And the third one, white biotech, connected with personal care and textile recycling and other recycling of bio-based materials. We want to do responsible investment. So it's all about impact. So if you do not contribute to the transformation to a more bio-based circular economy, we don't touch. So must clear contribution to SDGs and a clear alignment with the so-called environmental, social, and good governance criteria. That's very important and just a prerequisite. Otherwise, we cannot touch it because we are really clear impact fund, and you will find many investors around looking to these topics in more detail. And it's not just environmental; it's also social. Gender, diversity, all these topics are important. Maybe we have a look to our fund. We have just raised 300 million. We are very happy that we could convince 25 investors from 9 different countries to join the fund. So the most important one is, of course, the European Commission and the European Investment Bank. They put 100 in, and they initiated the whole fund. But we have also 8 corporates on board, family offices, insurance companies, and some public institutions, connecting us with all the industries and have great expertise in their house. It's amazing. If you look to insects, we analyze the whole market, and on the one side we have PreZero. They are dealing with feedstock. It's a waste company, a large one. And on the other side you have Nestlé. They are also already the customer. They buy these products already to put it in their pet food. So that's a very interesting discussion then, and you can cover that. And if you have companies, of course, we can connect. That's also a very important mission, not just to bring money to the table. It's also very important to network, to bring the right experts in place to solve problems, because the level of complexity is so high. And who is doing that? Just to show that we're also a very diverse team. We have 22 people on board coming from 14 different nations. So it's really mixed. We don't talk about gender. It's of course mixed as well. But also the background and the knowledge is also very, very mixed, so that we can find solution if we see problems in the companies. You can see it's not just a very high profile team, it's also a friendly team. You can just come and talk and touch and start business and talking at any time. Thank you very much. But the team is not just sufficient. What we need, of course, is a network. And that's why we are so happy that you are, Paul, and the organizing this wonderful gathering here, really to reach out to other people, to make sure that we can connect. And that is really like royal jelly for our companies and for our business. We need to have that, and that's why I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much, and share our vision, which is we catalyze the transition to a sustainable future by investing in circular, innovative, bio-based ventures. We want to create pan-European global companies. Thank you very much. Any questions, please?